Well, there's been amazing changes in the last 5 years since Colin's been here. Prior to that, our numbers would have been dwindling, to be honest.
The pace of life is much slower here. Things are done much slower and changes kind of much slower in some ways. I think the world was changing and the church really didn't change, and people were comfortable with that.
The changes have come probably gradually, so therefore it doesn't feel as if we have suddenly left the hymn book behind, you know. The fact that we don't use the hymn book, we use PowerPoint.
One of the biggest things that surprised me was actually the dress code. A lot of it we've left behind sort of suits and ties. And a lot of people have said to me that they feel more comfortable now coming to church without having possibly to dress up. In particular, our evening services we've left behind the church. We would meet in the church hall. Within the services, things are a bit more informal. I think PowerPoint has helped to do that. Involving people in the services as well is a big thing. And also I think what people left behind is, in some ways, their ideas of how church should be done, and that we can do something a different way. And I recognise that, yes, it has been for some folk a sacrifice, but what has encouraged me the most in Cavanaleck and Auchintain is people have been prepared to do that.
Cavanaleck and Auchintain were on the outskirts of the town, Cavanaleck just on the outskirts and Auchintain a little further out of the town, and we were like that in the community. We weren't in the heart of the community, so now we have moved out into the heart of the community.
One of our biggest change was, most radical change was disbanding the midweek. We would break into groups that people would be involved in, not just for Bible study. The idea was to grow in their faith in the Bible study, but to go out into the community as well. So our idea is that these 3 Grow and Go groups would reach out into the community. I realised quite early on that I couldn't mobilise the church, but I can mobilise these small groups.
By going out and leaving the church building and going out into the community, we were able to build and strengthen relationships.
Well, we started to do a soccer camp with young people 3 years ago, and we used the local football club's facilities. That made a contact with the club. We got to know some of the men there, and then they invited me to come along and help out with the mini soccer, and it's been fantastic just to see how God has been going ahead and really giving us a chance to exercise our faith.
CAP stands for Christians Against Poverty. It's a charity. It's a 3-week course, a simple course teaching them to manage their finances. We run them in different locations in the community. Even in a rural community like this, there are those who have no connection with the church, and church is the last place they'd come to. So they certainly would come to a local hall or a college before they'd come to church. Yeah.
Prayer Initiative has been good. We have good working relationships with the local churches here, the Methodist and the Church of Ireland. I was establishing a prayer room in the middle of the town. People are used to prayer in churches and involved in coming into buildings. So it was quite a challenge for folk to come into a prayer room. Folk really embraced that. There wasn't at any point in any part of the day where there wasn't anybody there. There was always somebody there.
Yeah, one of the things we've had to leave behind really is this idea that everybody had to come to us. And so our thinking idea behind it is that we can place people in the community and really get people involved in kingdom work in the community.
We are people who are willing to be in there, that we're active, that we're involved, and then we've got a message which is of hope, and it's relevant to today's society. It's a timeless message, and that it's what people need to hear.
An exciting thing about it is that we have made inroads into people's lives as well as families and the community on a consistent basis, not a one-off.